In this video, we take a deep dive into the complex political landscape of Papua New Guinea, the Pacific's largest and most diverse nation. From its Westminster-style democracy to its frequent government shakeups, PNG's politics are as fascinating as they are turbulent. But how does it compare to neighboring countries like Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, and the Solomon Islands? Join us as we explore the contrasts and common threads shaping political life across the Pacific Islands, and what lies ahead for this regional giant. Round pushpin politics, power, and Pacific perspectives, all in one essential report from PNG News Brief. Port Moresby. In the vibrant but volatile political landscape of the Pacific Islands, Papua New Guinea stands as a paradox. It is both a democratic beacon and a cautionary tale, by far the region's most populous and diverse nation, yet one beset by persistent political instability, corruption, and institutional fragility. Since gaining independence from Australia in 1975, Papua New Guinea, PNG, has maintained a parliamentary democracy rooted in the Westminster system. Its 118-member national parliament elects the Prime Minister, while the British monarch remains the ceremonial head of state, represented locally by a Governor-General. But beneath this formal structure lies a democracy that struggles with consistency. Frequent votes of no confidence, personality-driven parties, weak political institutions, and fragmented leadership are recurring themes. Coalition governments are the norm, and party switching is commonplace. We have regular elections, but what happens between elections is far from stable, said Dr. Angela Maru, a political science lecturer at the University of Papua New Guinea. Power is localized, and MPs are often more accountable to their tribal or regional base than to a national platform or party. Despite these challenges, PNG has maintained its democratic character, even as other Pacific nations have moved through coups, monarchic rule, or dominant party systems. A region of contrasts. When viewed alongside its Pacific neighbors, Papua New Guinea's political journey reveals the rich diversity, and divergence, of governance models across the region. Just across the sea, Fiji has had a markedly different political trajectory. Since its independence from the United Kingdom in 1970, Fiji has undergone 4 coups, most notably in 1987, 2000, and 2006. Although democratic elections returned in 2014, the military remains a powerful behind-the-scenes actor. Political parties in Fiji are tightly organized, and leadership is centralized, contrasting sharply with PNG's looser, MP-driven coalitions. Fiji has order and control, but it's not necessarily democratic pluralism in the grassroots sense, noted Dr. Maru. In PNG, political chaos sometimes goes hand in hand with genuine participation. Further east lies Samoa, one of the Pacific's most stable parliamentary democracies. From 1982 until 2021, the Human Rights Protection Party, HRPP, held continuous power. That era ended peacefully with the election of Prime Minister Fiam Naomi Mataafa, Samoa's first female leader, in a landmark moment for gender equality in the Pacific. Samoa has blended Western political structures with customary chiefly systems in a way that PNG has not. In Samoa, traditional leaders, Matai, play formal roles in governance and candidate eligibility, whereas in PNG, custom and politics often clash, especially in tribal regions where national law can be secondary to local norms. Tonga, by contrast, remains a constitutional monarchy, though it has been on a slow path to reform. For decades, most parliamentary seats were filled by appointments from the royal family. In 2010, constitutional amendments shifted power toward elected representatives, though the king still retains considerable influence. Unlike PNG, where political instability is fueled by fractured alliances, Tonga's governance has been shaped by elite negotiations and top-down reform. A fragile mirror, Solomon Islands. Perhaps the Pacific nation most politically comparable to PNG is the Solomon Islands. Both countries share geographic and linguistic diversity, weak central institutions, and deep reliance on foreign aid. The Solomon Islands experienced internal conflict from 1998 to 2003, prompting the deployment of the Australia-led Regional Assistance Mission to Solomon Islands, RAMSI. Since then, political stability has improved, but tensions remain. Recent decisions by the Solomon Islands government, most notably its security pact with China, have reignited domestic unrest and raised geopolitical concerns. In both countries, politics often revolves around personalities rather than parties. MPs tend to focus on delivering local services and securing resources for their home constituencies. A reflection of political clientelism that weakens national policy coherence. In PNG and Solomon Islands, MPs are judged less by laws they pass than by what they bring back to their districts, explained Dr. Maru. That creates a cycle of short-termism and patronage. Shared challenges, divergent responses. Across the Pacific, common challenges unite these nations. Most depend on aid and remittances. Infrastructure is underdeveloped. Service delivery is difficult in remote areas. And climate change poses a growing threat to their economies and societies. But the way each country responds to these challenges differs, shaped by culture, history, and governance models. PNG's vast landmass, ethnic diversity, and under-resourced government make service delivery especially difficult. While Samoa and Tonga are relatively centralized and cohesive, PNG must contend with deeply rooted tribal divisions and local power brokers. Law and order problems, especially in the highlands, further complicate governance. Political engagement, however, remains high. Voter turnout in PNG elections often exceeds 70%, and the country boasts a vibrant media landscape and active civil society. In many ways, the country exhibits democratic resilience even as its institutions falter. It's easy to focus on the chaos, said Dr. Maru. But Papua New Guineans believe in democracy. What we need is not a different system, but stronger institutions within the one we have. Looking ahead, reform or repetition? Papua New Guinea's future hinges on whether it can channel its democratic energy into structural reform. Calls are growing for political party strengthening, anti-corruption measures, and investment in local governance systems that can bridge the gap between national policy and local realities. Efforts to decentralize authority and empower provincial governments have had mixed results, often replicating national-level dysfunction at the local level. Meanwhile, international interest in PNG, and the wider Pacific, is rising. China, Australia, and the United States are all deepening ties with island nations, using infrastructure, aid, and security agreements as tools of diplomacy. PNG's strategic location and natural resource wealth make it a focal point of this new regional competition. For now, the road ahead for Papua New Guinea remains uncertain. But in a region defined by diversity, its challenges and successes offer important lessons for Pacific politics as a whole. We are not like Fiji. We are not like Samoa. PNG is its own story, said Dr. Maru. And it's still being written. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe and share to watch more updates on Papua New Guinea's political crossroad in the Pacific region.